Let's talk about something that might be on your mind. That little whisper in the back of your head, that feeling you get when you're scrolling through social media, or just lying in bed at night. The feeling that something is missing from your life. What is it for you? Is it a bigger house? A faster car? Maybe it's a relationship or a different job. We all have this mental checklist of things we think will make us happy, complete, and whole. But have you ever stopped to really question that list? To ask yourself, is this thing I'm chasing something I truly need, or is it just something I want? It's a simple question, but the answer can change everything. We live in a world that constantly tells you what you should want. Ads show us the latest gadgets you have to have. Movies, shows, and 1000% social media all portray these pre-programming inputs of life that you start to so believe are the standard. Our friends post their highlight reels, and we feel a pang of envy thinking, why don't I have that? It's so easy to get caught up in this cycle of wanting. We think if we just get that one more thing, then we'll be happy. If I just get that promotion, then I'll feel successful. If I just find the perfect partner, then I won't feel lonely anymore. So we chase, we hustle, we grind. We achieve the goal, get the thing, and for a moment it feels amazing. There's a rush of excitement, a sense of accomplishment. But then what happens? The feeling fades. And before we know it, that little whisper is back telling us something else is missing. The goalpost has moved again. This is the trap of wanting. It's an endless treadmill. Wants are often external. They're about possession, status, and comparison. They're shaped by society, by marketing, by what we see around us. And there's nothing inherently wrong with wanting things. It's human to desire improvement and new experiences. But when our happiness becomes completely dependent on fulfilling these external wants, you set yourselves up for a lifetime of dissatisfaction. Because there will always be something new to want. So let's shift the focus. Instead of asking what you want, let's ask, what do you need? This is a much deeper question. Needs are different. Needs are internal. They're about your fundamental well-being. Think about it on the most basic level. You need food, water, shelter, and safety. These are non-negotiable. But what about our psychological needs? We all have a fundamental need for connection. A need to feel seen, heard, and understood by others. To belong to a community, a family, a group of friends who accept us for who we are. It's not about having hundreds of superficial online friends. It's about having a few deep, meaningful relationships where you can be vulnerable and authentic. Is that what's missing? Real connection. We also have a need for growth and competence. A need to feel like we are learning, improving, and contributing something of value. This isn't necessarily about climbing a corporate ladder or earning a certain salary. It could be mastering a new skill, like learning to play the guitar, becoming a better cook, or getting good at a new language. It's about that feeling of I can do this, the satisfaction that comes from progress and mastery. Are you feeling stagnant? Do you need a new challenge that has nothing to do with your job title? And perhaps one of the most important needs is the need for autonomy and authenticity. The need to feel like you are the author of your own life. That your choices are your own, aligned with your true values and passions, not dictated by someone else's expectations. Are you living a life that feels true to you? Or are you playing a role that society, your family, or your friends expect you to play? Living authentically can be scary, but living a life that isn't yours is far more exhausting. So let's go back to that feeling that something is missing. Take a moment right now and really sit with it. Instead of immediately jumping to a want, a new phone, a vacation, a new car, try to dig deeper and identify the underlying need. If you feel like you want a new, high-paying job, what is the need behind that want? Is it a need for security, to know that your bills are paid and you have a safety net? Or is it a need for respect and validation from others? Maybe it's a need for a challenge because your current job has become boring and unfulfilling. If the need is security, maybe the answer isn't a stressful new job, but creating a budget and a savings plan. If the need is respect, perhaps you can find that by mentoring someone or taking on a leadership role in a community project. If it's a need for a challenge, maybe a new hobby would satisfy that just as well. If you find yourself wanting a romantic partner, what is the need you're trying to fill? Is it a need for connection and intimacy? A need to not feel lonely? Or is it a need for validation, to feel desirable and chosen? Fulfilling your need for connection might start with strengthening the friendships you already have. It could mean joining a club or a group that shares your interests. Addressing loneliness might involve learning to enjoy your own company, finding peace and happiness within yourself first. When you meet your own needs, you enter a relationship from a place of wholeness, not emptiness. This isn't about denying yourself nice things or giving up on your ambitions. It's about understanding your own motivation. It's about shifting your focus from the outside world to your inner world. When you start focusing on meeting your core needs, something incredible happens. The desperate wanting starts to quiet down. You become less dependent on external validation for your happiness. Your happiness becomes an inside job. It's built on a solid foundation of self-awareness and self-care, not on the shifting sands of material possessions and other people's opinions. When you meet your need for connection, you feel loved and supported. When you meet your need for growth, you feel capable and proud. When you meet your need for authenticity, you feel free and alive. This process isn't a quick fix. It requires honesty, courage, and a willingness to look inward. It means getting quiet enough to hear what your soul is actually asking for. It might mean journaling, meditating, talking to a trusted friend, or even a therapist. The journey to uncover your true needs is one of the most important journeys you will ever take. So the next time you feel that familiar ache, that sense that something is missing, pause. Take a breath. And ask yourself, is this a want born from comparison and external pressure? Or is this a true, fundamental need screaming to be heard? What is your soul really thirsty for? Is it more stuff or is it more connection, more growth, more freedom? When you start to feed your needs instead of just chasing your wants, you'll find that what was missing wasn't something you could buy in a store or achieve with a title. It is yourself waiting to be rediscovered and nurtured. And filling that space is the most rewarding. Thanks so much for watching. And hope to see your thoughts in the comments. For without your participation, there could be no experiment. Trick.